Lately, does it feel like your life is a bit off? Not completely wrong, just unfamiliar. Like you're no longer who you used to be, but you haven't fully become who you're meant to be either. It's a strange place to stand, somewhere between endings and beginnings, like something is quietly slipping away, while something new is trying to take shape, but hasn't revealed itself yet. And that in-between space can feel uncomfortable, confusing even. One moment you feel hopeful. The next, you're questioning everything. You try to make sense of it, to find clarity, to hold on to what used to feel certain. But the more you try to force understanding, the more distant it seems. If that's how you've been feeling lately, you need to understand something important. This isn't random. This isn't you falling behind or losing direction. Something is changing. Not everything in life announces itself loudly. Some of the most important shifts happen quietly beneath the surface, where you can't fully see them yet. And before a major change takes place, there are always signs, subtle shifts in your thoughts, your emotions, your environment. Little things that don't seem significant at first, but together they're pointing to something bigger. The problem is, most people miss these signs. They panic when things don't feel stable. They overthink every detail, trying to figure out what went wrong. They rush to fix everything, to put things back the way they were, because that's what feels safe, familiar. But what they don't realize is that not everything that feels uncomfortable is meant to be fixed. Some things are meant to shift. Some things are meant to end, because what's happening right now isn't here to break you, it's here to prepare you. Even if it doesn't feel that way yet, even if it feels like you're losing more than you're gaining, there is a process unfolding, and you're right in the middle of it. So if you've been feeling unsettled, disconnected, or unsure of what's next, this explains why. Things start falling apart. Plans don't go the way you expected. Things you were sure about suddenly stop working. Doors begin to close, and no matter how hard you try to fix things, it feels like everything is slipping out of your control. That's the hardest part. Not just the loss, but the confusion. You start questioning yourself, wondering what you did wrong, why things aren't working the way they should. It feels like everything is going in the wrong direction. But sometimes it's not going wrong, it's being redirected. Not everything that feels right now is meant to stay in your life. Some things are only temporary, even if they felt permanent. And when it's time for your life to change, those things begin to fall away. It may feel like you're losing something important, but in reality, you're being freed from what can't carry you into your next chapter. Because sometimes things fall apart because they were never meant to hold your future. You feel different, not better than anyone, just different. The things that once felt normal don't feel the same anymore. Conversations you used to enjoy now feel empty. Habits that once excited you don't hold your attention like they used to. And it's not something you can easily explain. It's a quiet shift, one that makes you feel slightly out of place, even in familiar environments. You might find yourself pulling back, observing more, speaking less, not because you want to isolate yourself, but because something inside you has changed. It can feel confusing at first, like you've lost a part of yourself, but in reality, you're not losing who you are. You're outgrowing who you used to be. Growth often feels like discomfort before it feels like clarity. And when you've reached a certain point, there's no going back to the old version of you. The mindset, the energy, the way you see things, it all begins to shift. You're not meant to fit where you've outgrown, because sometimes feeling different isn't a problem. It's a sign that you're evolving. You start noticing distance. Suddenly, the people you once felt close to don't reach out like they used to. Conversations become less frequent, messages go unanswered, and the connections that once felt natural now feel strained. Sometimes it's subtle, just a quiet shift in energy, but other times it's unmistakable. You feel it, and it can hit hard. It's normal to feel lonely, even confused. You may wonder if you've done something wrong, or if people no longer care. But here's the truth. Not every distance is a loss. Not every separation is meant to hurt you. Some distance is necessary. It's life's way of clearing space, helping you grow and preparing you for what's ahead. People, places, and situations sometimes move away from you so that what truly belongs in your future can move closer. Distance isn't always rejection. It's often redirection. And when you start to understand this, the loneliness begins to feel less like abandonment and more like preparation. You feel this quiet pressure inside you. It's subtle at first, almost like a whisper, but it won't let you rest. A persistent feeling that you're meant to do more, be more, or take a different path. You can't fully explain it. It doesn't come with instructions or clarity, and it doesn't wait for the perfect timing. Yet, you can't ignore it. It may show up as restlessness, frustration, or a nagging thought that something isn't right in your life. You try to distract yourself, to push it aside, but it keeps returning, quietly insisting that change is necessary. This feeling isn't random. It's often the beginning of transformation. It's life's way of nudging you out of your comfort zone, reminding you that the next chapter is waiting, and that staying the same will no longer serve you. When you feel this quiet pressure, pay attention. It's your inner compass, pointing toward growth, toward what you are truly meant to become. Things feel harder than usual. Tasks that once felt simple now take more energy. Small responsibilities weigh on you. Even routines that used to feel easy seem exhausting. You might feel drained, overwhelmed, or like nothing is going the way it should. And in those moments, it's natural to start questioning everything: your choices, your path, even yourself. But here's the truth. Pressure doesn't always mean you're on the wrong path. It doesn't mean you're failing. Sometimes it means the opposite. Sometimes it means you're being stretched, strengthened, and prepared for what's coming next. Life often builds the strongest people through the heaviest pressure. Every challenge, every obstacle, every moment that feels too much is shaping you into someone capable of handling far greater opportunities, responsibilities, and blessings than before. So when things feel heavier than usual, don't lose faith. It's not punishment, it's preparation. Because the hardest seasons often lead to the most powerful transformations. Something shifts. At first, it may seem small, almost easy to overlook. A new idea crosses your mind. An unexpected opportunity shows up. A simple conversation opens a door you didn't even know existed. But something about it feels different. It doesn't feel forced. it doesn't feel confusing. There's a sense of clarity, like things are finally starting to align. After all the waiting, the uncertainty, the pressure, you begin to notice movement. And it's not loud or dramatic at the beginning. It's quiet, but certain. You start connecting the dots. Things begin to make sense. The delays, the endings, the changes, they no longer feel random. They feel like part of a bigger picture that's finally revealing itself. And then, almost suddenly, everything starts to pick up speed. Opportunities come faster. Decisions become clearer. Doors begin to open, one after another. What once felt stuck now feels like it's flowing. Because when the shift finally happens, it doesn't drag. It moves quickly. And all at once you realize, this is what everything was leading to. If you've been experiencing some of these signs, take a breath. You're not stuck, even if it feels that way. You're not falling behind, and you're not losing control of your life. What you're in right now is a transition, a space between who you used to be and who you're becoming. And that space can feel uncomfortable, uncertain, even frustrating, because you can't fully go back, but you can't clearly see what's ahead either. It feels like standing in the middle of a chapter that hasn't been written yet. But this in-between phase is not empty. It's active. It's where growth is happening beneath the surface, where things are being aligned in ways you can't fully see yet. So stay steady. Don't rush the process. Don't panic and try to force clarity. Because when everything finally comes together, and it will, you'll look back and understand why things didn't work out the way you wanted them to. It wasn't a delay, it was direction.